Hi everybody, welcome back to Sunshine Soap and Candle Company. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you how I got started in this bath, body, and candle making adventure. I'm going to be sharing with you sort of my small business story, how I got started and where I am today. And I'm going to be discussing a few things that have worked for me and some things that I wish I would have known before I got started. So rewinding way back to 2001, 2002, I was a recent college grad and also recently married, and I had gone to work for a local insurance company. And after about a year of working there, I really knew at that time that that was not a career path that I wanted to continue down on. I wasn't satisfied and I didn't really enjoy my work. And I really felt like I have a lot of working years ahead of me and I really want to try to find something that I enjoy doing. So it was around that time that I started exploring different hobbies, and candle making was one of those things that I kind of discovered in my process of looking for outlets and other things that I could do to occupy my time. And I think I got a kit from one of the local craft stores, Michael's or Joann's, and I made a candle and I was hooked. I absolutely fell in love with the process of making candles. Also around that time, the company Party Lights, they do the at-home parties where you can buy the candles. They were really popular at that time, and I remember I really loved burning those candles. They smelled so good, they filled up a room, and I realized I wanted to try to emulate that and make candles that smelled as good as the Party Lights brand candles. So that was sort of my inspiration and how I became obsessed with learning how to make a great quality candle and a good product. I really wanted to make a candle that smelled as good as the Party Lights candles or the Yankee candle or the Bath & Body Works candles. And I was finding that it was a lot easier said than done. And I think that's still true today. However, back then it was really hard to find any resources on how to make good candles, and the supplies and such were very limited too. There weren't very many candle companies out there that had quality fragrances. So it took a while to really make a good quality burning candle that I liked as much as the candle companies that I had been purchasing candles from. So once I became an expert in the field of candle making, I decided I could probably sell them. And I started to do that, I think in early 2003 around. And my company name back then was Twilight Inspirations. And that was because I would work on my candle making business after work around sunset after my day job. So that was where the name Twilight Inspirations came up. And when I started selling candles, I was really just selling them mainly to friends, family, work friends, and then I started to hit up the local craft fair scene, and I did really well with that for a few years. And then 2005, everything changed because that is the year that my first child was born. And so really getting aggressive with selling candles and becoming a bigger company was not something that was in the immediate future for me. So candle making and selling kind of went on the back burner for a little while. I never stopped making candles. I actually still made them year round and sold them seasonally, like during holidays when I knew I could move them and that would bring in extra money for me to make and sell handmade candles. But it wasn't something that I did all the time at that point. Fast forward to 2010, and I was pregnant with my third child, and at that time I decided I was going to go back to school and get my teaching credential. So that's what I did. I went back to school, I got my teaching credential, and I was a kindergarten and first grade teacher for 10 years. Around my third year of teaching, I had a strong desire to really start growing my small business. It had been a good tax write-off for us and we were still doing it, but it wasn't something that was growing consistently. So around my third year of teaching, I decided I wanted to really start concentrating on making and selling candles again. And so that's what I did. I started working at the local craft fairs on the weekends and trying to find other ways to sell my candles and also update my packaging and the way that my stuff looked so that it would be appealing for people to buy. And we did that for a few years, and then I saw some local soap makers in my area at a craft fair, and I remember thinking it was the most beautiful soap I had ever seen, and I got really interested in making soap. And making soap for me was a lot like when I started making candles. I became obsessed with how to do it. I became obsessed with how to make a good quality product that I liked as much as the stuff that I was buying from bigger companies like Lush and Bath & Body Works. Once I became really good at making soap, that is when my website was born, and then also shortly after that, my YouTube channel was born, and then I started to branch out into other things like lotion making, cosmetic making, and all of the things that you see on my YouTube channel and my Patreon campaign. So that, in a nutshell, is my small business story. I no longer teach anymore. I run my business full-time, and it's amazing. So the second part of this video is just going to be talking to you about some of those things that I've learned along the way, some of the things that have worked for me. Number one, if you don't love your products, neither will anyone else. Something to do before you do anything else is to learn your craft and become an expert in your craft. So something that I did and that I still do to this day is if I'm developing a new product or I'm making something to sell, I will compare it to something that I've bought from the store that I really like. If I don't like my own products as much as I like the store-bought products, then I need to go back to the drawing board, make adjustments, start over, tweak my product until it gets to a point where I like it as much or more than those store-bought products. This takes a lot of time, patience, and lots of practice. However, you want other people to like your product as much as you do. You want them to like your product so much that they're telling other people about it and they're coming back for more. This doesn't happen overnight, so be patient and work hard. Number two, it's okay not to grow your business super fast or overnight. Your measure of success should not be based on how fast you launch your business. Growing organically and getting those grassroots is way better in the long run. So take your time and make sure you're doing things the way you want to do them. Number three, you have to spend a little money to make some money. So you are going to put a little bit of an investment into your business. So taking out small business loans was not really something that was an option for me or my family. So what that meant for me was that I had to continue to work a day job for several years to be able to afford the things that I needed to get my small business up and running. And I really didn't see a profit margin or a substantial profit margin for about 5 years into my small business journey. Number four, once you get very happy and satisfied with the products that you're making, it's time to start working on your packaging and labeling. Now, this is something that you're going to spend a substantial amount of time and money on, so don't get frustrated. But remember, you've spent a long time developing a product that is amazing and that you want to share with the world. And you need your packaging and labeling to match the amazing product that's inside. Also, it's the first thing, especially if you're online, it's the first thing that people see when they come across your product, and you want to draw people in and you want to draw their attention into your product. If you don't have labeling that speaks to people or that's visually appealing to people, you're probably not going to draw that many customers to your website or to your social media platforms. Packaging and labeling is just as important as the good product that's inside the packaging and labeling, and you are going to spend a lot of time and money developing it and making it just right. And it's an ongoing, organic, and fluid process. Number five, before you sell anything to anyone, make sure at the very minimum you have a business license, a seller's permit, and those are the two bare minimum things that you need to sell product in your area. Also, don't forget about the liability insurance. That's also something that you should definitely have before you sell any product. Now, the way to go about doing this is to look in your area regarding how to obtain a seller's permit and a business license for your region. You are likely going to need all three of these things to sell at any farmer's market or craft fair. So it's definitely worth the investment and it makes your business more legitimate. Number 6, you're going to have days in this journey where you have a lot of self-doubt and you wonder if you're making the right choices. Surround yourself with people who believe in your dream and who support you. That's so important because they are going to believe in you and support you on those days when you may not really believe in yourself all that much. Keep going and have perseverance and surround yourself with people who support you. And ignore all the negative naysayers. Just get them out of your head. All right, everybody, that concludes today's video. I hope you really liked it. If you did, please remember to give this video a thumbs up. You can also support my small business through my Patreon campaign. I'll go ahead and leave a link down below. Please share this video with a friend and subscribe to my channel. Catch you on the next video. Keep shining. Bye.